So this is my TNA Impact review of the 7th March 2025 episode, and I will say it was a good show. I think it's the go home show. If I'm not wrong, maybe it's not. Maybe I am wrong because I think probably I'm wrong because AEW Revolution is happening this weekend, and I don't think TNA would run an event, going head to head with Revolution. But I would say it was a pretty fine show. Like, I'll not take much time, but I'll talk about it. Is, the main stuff that happened. The show started with Elijah, formerly known as Elias, coming out and facing one of the JDC, Brian Myers, which he won the match with a tombstone pile driver. Like, match really made him look out a lot more in the ring. After the match, Eddie Edwards came out, and he attacked Elijah. Joe Henry came out, he saved him with the white guitar and all. I don't know, I think Elijah is turning at sacrifice, and probably JDC wins because of that, and then the rest of the stuff happens. you know the whole night you also had a series of vignettes about Spitfire, tormenting Ash and Heather by Elegance. Like, first, like, running into their room, interrupting their all beauty routine and all, dressing them up as themselves, then having them run around in public dressed as them, and then feeding them dog food, even taking them to a dojo, beating their ass, uh, also that they're smelly a lot, and also you know treating them as target practice essentially. And there was a funny part, the concierge of Ash and Heather was actually spying on them, and the end saved them because he disguised himself as a cleaning person, and then you know he blindsided them. They beat Spitfire up, and then Ash and Heather ran away with them. Even Mustafa Ali, like, Mike Santana had a match with one of Mustafa's minions. He won the match with a sick looking powerbomb. In the end, he also laid out the other minion. And they were essentially, Mustafa was saying that you have been selected for, a piss test, along with the woman, minion that he has. Then when he walked, then another guy came and gave him that piss test cup, and I was like, why don't you powerbomb him, Mike Santana? Then he came to the back, and Santino said, he did push his limit, but you just agree to it. Then he saw that that woman minion was screaming at one of the staff because they wanted Mustafa to have his perfect coffee and all, but he grabbed the cup and he gave the cup of coffee, you know, as a piss cup essentially to Mustafa. He passed the test obviously, and Mustafa was doing the thing. You also had Macklin confronting First Class. They also had like two chicks with them who I don't know who they are, and that set up a match between him and whoever the guy is from Hit Row. I don't remember his name. They had a match where Eric Young, because of Eric Young and Northern Army's distraction, Macklin lost. And he confronted them, and Eric Young was like, open your eyes and everything. I've got the best interests of you. Frankie Kaz also tried to, manipulate him, but it didn't work. And also, you had a backstage segment where, Nick Nemeth wanted to be the fifth guy to face JDC, but they said that we are already partnering with Leon Slater. We don't want you. Then they video called Nick Nemeth, and Nick Nemeth was like, "I will be your tag partner," and they were like, "No," and let me tell my brother. And then Ryan went out. The thing is, I missed a few parts because I was watching the highlights. I think the best segment was the Opa and Moose segment, where essentially they both were telling each other how much they meant to their own respective brands, and then correlating it to how much better they are than the other person. I really like the presentation. Like, Moose actually looked like the guy of TNA, like with his, uh, you know, like black shirt, red tie, and all. Then Fandango grabbed the mic and he was like, you are in the system now, and those security guards that were, in between them were essentially, the guys of the system, because Oba wanted to get those cards aside. Moose was like, I know you would say that. Then they started attacking Oba, and Oba, like a beast, just pushed all of them in like one blow, and then gave like sick power bombs in the ring, then throwing one outside the ring. Then he was also beating JDC's ass, but in the end Moose got him with the spear, and then he held up both the NXT and X Division titles, which probably means that he's gonna lose, and he is gonna lose. One thing also was that Wesley and his crew caused the disqualification. They interfered in the match for the between the Northern Armory and the Rascals. Rascals had a funny, backstage interview along with Leon Slater with the reporter. One of the Rascals actually flirted a little bit. Also, I would say, man, these Northern Armory guys look like geeks, man. What were those stormtrooper masks like? What were those masks? What were those masks? Look, they were looking like so much like geeks, like they made me forget English. But in the end, they won because of Wes and his crew's interference. You know, you also had Samantha, what is her name? Samantha Evans versus Zaya Brookside. Zaya Brookside got a lot in this match. Like, I like Samantha Evans. She was a big burly girl in the end, because in the end, even like she got kind of a fluke win. Rosemary was watching from the side because she faked that she had an injury, and in the end, she got her with a clothesline. So it actually looked like she got off. You know, like she had a pretty close win in the end. Wobbling off the field and everything. You also had, Masha Slamovich and Cora Jade confronting each other, the usual stuff. But then, Tessa attacked Masha. Then I'm not gonna say her name. Lee comes out and saves her. I'm just like, if they're letting WWE is letting Cora tag with Tessa, like it's not long before they have her in a TNA NXT crossover. Maybe they won't have that, but I think they're testing the waters with this about what the response from WWE fans are. It's just that WWE fans are not really that interested. Like maybe they watch TNA, maybe they don't. I think the WWE NXT fans are more like, if there is something like truly like awesome that is happening in the NXT TNA partnership, they may see. Like if there is a Fraxium defending their NXT tag title, some like big team of TNA on TNA television, maybe then they'll see that. But aside from that, I don't really think that they really care in the end about that. And also, have I talked about most of the stuff? Because I'm going to talk about the main event also, which was essentially, a tag match between the Hardys and the Colognes. You had Fraxium before the match speaking there how they want to beat Hardys and prove that they're the greatest tag team in the world. Which the Hardys is going to win the match, and I think it's good that this partnership is giving a lot more to TNA, because it's going to be 1-1, because OBA is going to defeat Moose and Hardys are going to defeat Fraxium. I think that's pretty certain. That's what's going to happen. So TNA doesn't really lose that much, because also like Moose is the X Division champion. It's not like he's the world champion that he goes and loses to OBA, and it's kind of like insult to him or something. And Hardys get a win, so it's good for them. And also they were promoting Queen of the Ring. I think WWE is not promoting it because originally there was supposed to be WWE wrestlers, but they cut them off and put AEW wrestlers there. I don't know whose fault was that, but it looks like TNA and AEW are doing a lot to promote it, while but still there's not like that buzz in the air where which it should, because like it's kind of like a mainstream thing. Like it should be supported a lot more by not only like wrestling companies, but wrestling content creator, wrestling fans too. I don't know what they were chanting when Tessa Blanchard interferes and when Lee came out and interfered also. I don't know what they were chanting there. But the thing I would say is Northern Army as a tag team is a good tag team. It's just that I can't take Eric Young seriously, man. For his voice, uh, how much dick has he sucked? And the other thing, he's just like too old and corny for me. But I like Northern Army as a tag team, and I'm glad that Eric Young can actually help them act as a mouthpiece and help them get to the higher level. And after the match, when Hardys and Colognes happened, I'm glad that Hardys are in a place where it is best for them, because it's their every match is actually like Hardys' greatest hits, like vintage Hardys every match. Just that they have a little bit of beat downs in between where the heel gets the upper hand, but it's not like they're doing anything new. They just do the Hardys' greatest hits every match, and that's enough to get the TNA crowd off their feet. They don't really need to work that hard, and I think that's the best company for them. And in the end, maybe they can get like a 1 year, 1.5 year to a 2 year like retirement run with the WWE. In the end, put over a tag team and then go into the sunset and retire. I think that's what they should do. But JDC interfered in the end, caused a disqualification. Then everyone came out: Henry, Leon Slater, everyone, and Santino came out, and it was decided that I don't know what it was. Maybe the steel cage was decided then, because it's a 10-man tag steel cage. Too much overkill, but okay, I'll take it. Overall, a pretty fine show. I hope they keep doing these events at venues like Full Sail. Like, it makes them look more big time than they actually are, and I'm glad for them. I just hope that they get off access, man. They'll they'll become much bigger than they are. I'm not saying they'll become the second best promotion, but it's like their product is at a situation where people will not be embarrassed to watch TNA. So, like, get on a better network. But that was my review. I'll give this like a 3 out of 5 TNA Impact. And tell what you rate this episode of TNA Impact. So, if you like this type of content, like my video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My Twitter/X and my Instagram account links are in the description below, which are my social media accounts. So go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is shabboy@okicici, is in the description also. So donate any amount of money which you can, so that it can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you, goodbye, alvida. And tomorrow I will be reacting to horror animated stories as well. So watch out for that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, like, share. So thank you, goodbye, alvida.